Thank you, Chris. We started with testing against a random sample of 59 speeches manually labeled positive, negative, neutral. Based on our last conversation with the Bank of England, we've now added generative LLMs, ChatGPT and Claude. Central Bank Roberta and ChatGPT outperformed the other models, with ChatGPT having slight edge. We looked further into these top two models to see what is driving the difference in performance. We found the divergence comes from a slight negative bias of Central Bank Roberta. But when looking at the continuous scores over time, each model captures major peaks and dips in sentiment. Next slide, please. We use Central Bank Roberta as our model of choice because it is specifically trained on communications from such institutions as BIS, ECB, and the Fed, making it highly suited to this domain. There are practical benefits over LLMs such as ChatGPT. CB Roberta is free, consistent, reproducible, not at the mercy of changing models or API structures. It also provides a second dimension by estimating agent-specific sentiment. As shown in the chart, Central Bank Roberta breaks down sentiment into 5 types of economic agents. Next slide, please. Looking at each group separately helps avoid situations where their sentiments offset each other. In the chart in golden, we highlight the example of a period when different agent sentiments moved in opposite directions. This approach gives clearer picture of how sentiment may relate to economic indicators. It is especially useful because these indicators are also affected by many macroeconomic events shown on the chart in gray. So separating each group's view adds precision to the predictive analysis. Next slide, please. The analysis shows that the sentiment expressed by the central bank, combined with key indicators like unemployment and inflation expectations, can help predict economic indicators. This combination has 78% explanatory power for movements in the JFK Consumer Confidence Index. It highlights how the policy tone and economic signals together can help shape the economy. Next slide, please. Inflation metrics and the Central Bank Roberta Sentiment Score showed strong correlations. To avoid overlap between variables, we kept just the inflation measure. We chose to exclude CPI, as inflation expectations were more closely tied to JFK and better reflect future outlook. Next slide, please. Using historical volatility data, we tested the model against various volatility scenarios. The test showed clearly that neutral volatility periods have a more predictable structure. During crisis periods, consumer sentiment can shift abruptly due to shocks, not captured by the features. Next slide, please. Although economic indicators seem more important than sentiment within the scope of predictive analysis, communications do matter as a forward guidance. It is also suggested to prioritize timing of key speeches through introduction of appropriate time lags, to switch to more complex models like XGBoost to explore nonlinear effects, or SariMax to use autoregression and capture shifts in short-term timeframes. And now moving on to harsh